What's going on, guys? This is Tony with Tony Gonzalez Fitness. In today's video, I'm actually going to walk you through my meal prep process and teach you how to prep more of your foods that you love to eat quicker, faster, and more efficiently. Alright, so like I said in this video, guys, I'm going to take you through my actual meal prep process that I use personally week in and week out to go ahead and prep a lot of food in bulk for me to use throughout for the week. Now, typically I get this question a lot. I meal prep for usually 3 or 4 days at a time. I don't like to prep for the whole week because food starts to go bad once you get going that far in. So 3 days, 4 days max is what I recommend for the best freshness. So in today's video, guys, what I like to cook is I like to cook in bulk. So what we're gonna be cooking today is some teriyaki chicken. I'm gonna put it in a slow cooker, teach you guys how to do it so fast, so simple. It's gonna blow your mind. If you say you don't have time to meal prep, your excuse is not valid anymore after watching this video. It's so simple, guys. We're also gonna be go ahead and cooking some jasmine rice. I'm gonna teach you how I do that, how I do it very fast, how I pretty much cook it every morning. I like my rice fresh, so I like to cook it every day. And it takes just a few minutes to go ahead and get it going. Last but not least, we're gonna also be cooking some teriyaki turkey. As you can tell, I like teriyaki. I'm gonna show you exactly what we're gonna be using to do all of this here in this video. All right, so to go ahead and get this started, guys, what you're gonna need first is, obviously, you're gonna need some protein. And what we're gonna cook today, like I said, is some teriyaki chicken, some teriyaki turkey. So first, I'm gonna show you guys my chicken that I get here. Now, this chicken is all natural, no hormones, anything like that. Yes, it is a little more expensive, but I always recommend that you invest in your health. Invest in your health now, eat good now, eat nutritious now, and you won't have to pay for medical bills later. I'm gonna be cooking, I have about 3.5 pounds here, so that's gonna be quite a bit of meals. Next up, like I said, we have our ground turkey. Now I have some Jenny O ground turkey here, and this is simply 93.7, so very lean protein. I like to get most of my fats from peanut butter. I love peanut butter, so I go for the lower fat options on my actual protein. Chicken, again, chicken breast is very low fat as well. So just some 93%, I have 3 pounds of this. And then for the actual chicken, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be using a crock pot to cook the chicken. It's gonna be super simple. I'm gonna show you guys in just a moment. But what you're gonna need as well to cook this chicken is some unsalted chicken broth. Now, if you don't have unsalted chicken broth, you can't find it, maybe whatever the case is, you can use water as an option, but just know that it's gonna taste a lot better if you actually use this chicken broth. Now, make sure when you buy this, it is unsalted so that it is lower sodium. This one only has about 140 milligrams of sodium per cup, which is what we're gonna be using is 1 cup. Now, if you opt for the low sodium, I think it's around 300 or so. If you go for just the regular one, you're gonna be like 500-600. So this has about 80% less sodium, which is gonna leave you not as bloated. So definitely go for the unsalted or the lower salt if you can't find the unsalted. Also, what we're gonna be cooking here is teriyaki chicken, like I said. So you're gonna need some type of teriyaki sauce. I personally like this one. This is the Mrs. Dash teriyaki. Now, this is no MSG, no salt in here either. So very low in sodium. I believe it's actually 0 sodium. So this is something that I use religiously. I use this after the food is cooked. I use it to cook the food. You can use this on chicken, turkey, fish, anything you want. This stuff is awesome. They also have like 2 other flavors. I think there's a garlic one and like a lime one. So definitely check these out in your local grocery store. Typically they're on the bottom shelf, so they're not the easiest to find, but most grocery stores will carry this. Next up, what we're gonna be needing for this meal prep is some liquid aminos. So the liquid aminos here, these are basically a soy sauce alternative. So now these do have some sodium in there, but these also have your BCAAs. So this is a great addition to any meal. You're adding basically liquid BCAAs, like BCAAs you would get at Vitamin Shop, GNC. This is the same thing, but you're able to add it right into your food. Now, if you're eating enough protein every day, you typically do not need BCAAs because you're already getting your protein intake. But I like to add this because I really enjoy the flavor, and it doesn't hurt to have some extra BCAAs. Why not? And honestly, for the price of this, it's extremely affordable. I think this was about $3 or $4. So this is it here. Bragg's liquid aminos, give it a shot. All right, and next up, what we're gonna need for our carbohydrate source is we're gonna be doing some jasmine rice. I like jasmine rice because it's like that sticky, like Asian rice that you would get in an Asian restaurant. It's really, really good. And it's more natural than if you would get like a white rice. Like a white rice is typically like bleached, and it has like all kinds of just other stuff in there that you really don't want. Brown rice tends to bloat me, so I don't like brown rice. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, carbs are carbs. You know, yes, there is differences between the glycemic index and all of those things, but I always say whatever you can do long term, whatever you can stick to, whatever you enjoy is what's gonna work for you in the long run, because it all comes down to sustainability and consistency. If you're gonna eat brown rice but you hate it, you're probably not gonna be able to eat it very long. If you enjoy white rice, you're probably gonna stick to your meal plan a hell of a lot easier. So I recommend going with what you like. If you like the brown rice, go for the brown rice. If you like the white rice, go for the white rice. If you like white rice, I highly recommend jasmine, or basmati is also great as well. All right, so now that we have our carbs and we have our proteins all set and we have everything we're gonna be needing to flavor those up nicely so that we like it and we enjoy it, last but not least, we're gonna need our vegetables. Now, in this video, I'm just gonna be going over some broccoli because that's what I had in my freezer. You can use anything you like. You can use Brussels sprouts. I really like asparagus as well. Asparagus is nice because it is a natural diuretic. It does make you go to the bathroom a little bit more. If you've ever eaten it, you know this. You know, it gives you kind of like a funky smell when you go to the bathroom as well. Put on some lemon juice and some pepper is awesome with asparagus. Broccoli, you can do the same thing. You can add on some lemon, you can add on some pepper, and it's good to go. Broccoli is also very versatile. I know for some people, broccoli does make you bloat, gives you gas. So if that's the case for you, try something else. But for me today, we're just gonna be steaming up some broccoli. All right, so now that we have all of the food out of the way, what we're gonna be needing as well are some containers so that we can go ahead and put our food in containers right after we're done with the actual cooking and we have everything ready to go in the fridge. So for these containers, guys, these are the Fit Packer containers. I got them off Amazon. They're extremely affordable. I got like 20 of them for I think 17 bucks or 18 bucks, something along those lines. Very, very cheap, and they're very durable. I've had these for over a year and a half and they're still working for me. So sometimes you get a lot of containers and they break, etc. These are awesome. I'll put the link in the description if you guys want to try these out. So the other thing that you're gonna need for this is some type of measuring cup. This one is just equal to a cup. That's all we're gonna be needing it for, is just 1 cup of the chicken stock. So this will do if you just have a single cup. Next, what we're gonna be needing is a food scale. That way when we separate our meals, we know how much we're eating in each meal and we can hit our macros properly. If you don't have a food scale, I highly recommend getting one. So that way you know exactly how much fat, how much protein, how many carbs you're eating on a daily basis. So this one, I'll also put in the link in the description. I've had this one for over 2 years and this one has been phenomenal for me. All right guys, so now we have our food, we have our food scale, and we have the containers that we're gonna be putting our food in. How are we gonna cook all of this food? Like I said earlier with the chicken, we're gonna be using this crock pot. It can be a smaller crock pot, a larger crock pot. There's some that turn on and off automatically. Find one that works for you. This one was, I think, $30, extremely affordable at Target. I'll put the link for one of these as well in the description that you can get off at Amazon. All right. The last piece of equipment that you're actually gonna need is a rice cooker. This is not necessary. You can cook rice in a normal pot on the stove if you wish. I believe you can even microwave it if you know how to do that. I'm not sure how to do it. I prefer to just use this guy right here. Literally, you throw your rice in, you turn it on, and in 20 minutes, it's done. You don't have to watch it, you don't have to lower temperature, you don't have to do anything. You literally push a button, and it's fresh, and it's done. So highly recommend getting a rice cooker if you do not have one. If not, that's okay as well. For this video, for the turkey, what we're gonna be using is just a regular pan. It can be a larger pan, it can be a smaller pan. Whatever you have in your kitchen is the best thing. I always say, whenever it comes to making videos, whenever it comes to cooking, whenever it comes to doing anything in life, use what you have, and then you can always get better as you go. But don't use excuses to not do something. So whatever type of pan you have, go ahead and do that. If you do not have a pan, definitely go grab one. All right, so what I recommend as far as this meal prep goes is I always recommend for you to start with whatever's gonna take you the longest first. In this case, the chicken is gonna take the longest. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and cut open your chicken. You're gonna place that inside of the crock pot. You're gonna add in 1 cup of the chicken stock. After you add in the chicken stock, the last step for the chicken, and literally guys, the last step is to go ahead and add in the teriyaki. You can add in a bottle, you can add in half a bottle. It's really up to you and how much teriyaki flavor you really want. I like to use about half a bottle for every 3 pounds of chicken. So for this video, I'll go ahead and use half a bottle since we have about 3.5 pounds of chicken. Once you add all of that in, guys, you're literally done besides turning your crock pot on. If you want to cook it in 4 hours, go ahead and place it on high. If you want to cook it for 8 hours, cook it on low. If you're gonna be heading out for the day, maybe you're gonna be going to work, or maybe you're putting it in right before you go to bed, 8 hours is perfect because you can go to work for the day, you can come home, and your chicken will be done. Same thing goes for if you're going to bed. You go to bed for the night, you wake up, and you have all of your chicken ready to go for the next day so that you can go ahead and eat your meals that you have prepped. All right, so now that we have our chicken taken care of, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our turkey, which is gonna be our healthier fat option because it's a little higher in fat than the chicken is. So for the turkey, we're gonna just cook this on the stovetop. It's gonna take 15, 20 minutes maybe. Go ahead and cut open the turkey package. Preheat your pan, obviously. I like to put it on about medium. Wait for that to get a little bit warm. Add the turkey into the pot. Go ahead and break it up with your spatula so that it cooks evenly. And what I like to do at this point is I like to add 3 to 4 tablespoons of the liquid Aminos. Just place it on there so that it spreads evenly throughout the actual turkey meat. After you get done doing this, you're gonna use whatever's left from your teriyaki from the chicken on the turkey. So you're gonna get this like teriyaki soy sauce type flavor from the turkey, which actually comes out really good. I will warn you, it's gonna give you like kind of an overwhelming smell in your house. So just be aware by cooking this, you may get some comments from others who live in your household. If you live on your own, then you're good. And what we're gonna do for the turkey again is just let it cook till it's done. It's as simple as that. The turkey is very, very simple. Now, if you'd like to add on some different vegetables, maybe some peppers, some onions, some jalapenos, etc., feel free to do that as well. So now that we have the chicken cooking, we have the turkey cooking, we're gonna move on to our rice. Now for the rice, if you're gonna be using a rice cooker, extremely simple. I like to cook about 1 cup to 2 cups of rice at a time. It just comes out the best. I find that if I try to cook more than that at one time, it doesn't come out right, it's watery, it's hard, it just doesn't come out the way that I really like it. So I'd recommend 1 or 2 cups. And what I do with this is 1 cup of jasmine rice, 1 cup of water, place it inside the rice cooker, hit the white rice button, and boom. Within 20 minutes, your rice cooker is gonna go off. You're gonna have your rice ready to go. Super simple, guys. So there's literally no excuse in the book. This is like the simplest. I can guarantee you, if this is like the simplest meal prep that you've ever watched in your life, make sure that you give a thumbs up down below. All right, so now that we have our proteins cooking, we have our chicken cooking, we have our turkey cooking, we have our rice on, what we're gonna do while all that is pretty much being automated, we're gonna go ahead and cook our broccoli. Now our broccoli we're just gonna put on the stovetop. So go ahead and fill up your steam pot with some water. Make sure it gets to a boil. Once it gets to a boil, you're just gonna place your broccoli right inside of the tray there. Keep an eye on it. Basically, once it turns to a bright green, your broccoli is done. What I like to do is I like to take the lid off and just poke it and see how firm or soft the broccoli is to know that it's done. I like mine a little bit more firm because it is gonna stay cooking just a little bit after you take it off due to the heat of the vegetable itself. All right, so now that we have our turkey done, we have our rice done, and we have our vegetables done, the chicken is still cooking because again, that's gonna take a little bit longer. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and weigh out all of the turkey that we have. We're gonna also weigh out the rice that we have. Vegetables, I don't weigh out. Vegetables, I like to just eat as many or as little as I want. It's completely up to you as far as vegetables go. I don't really count them. Some people count them as carbs. I really don't worry about it. The carbs that I really worry about, again, are your rice, potatoes, breads, those type of things. Vegetables, I don't worry too much about. I always recommend to just eat as many as you want. And it's as simple as that, guys. So what I like to do for my meals, and this is kind of like a good starting point if you aren't interested in your macros or anything, I like to do anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces of protein per meal and anywhere from 100 to 250 grams of carbs. Now this is weighed after cooked. Some people weigh out their chicken before, some people weigh out it after, some people do the same thing with their carbs. I just weigh everything after. There's, you know, competitions and people who go through prep and that type of thing where you do have to be a little more precise. You have to be, you know, down to the exact gram and down to the exact ounce. But if you're watching this video, I know you're not trying to bodybuild, you're not trying to be a competitor of any type. So this goes for you. This is for the average person who's just trying to get in shape, get more energy, gain some confidence, and just wants to feel better about themselves. These are great guidelines for you to go ahead and start with. If you still feel hungry, what I recommend is maybe add some more. It depends on your type of diet and what type of diet plan you are following. If you're following an intermittent fasting plan, you're gonna go ahead and eat bigger meals because you're eating less throughout the day. If you're eating a meal plan where you're eating 5 small meals, then you're gonna be eating 5 small meals. And these numbers are gonna completely differ. So again, what I'd recommend starting out with is just about 4 to 6 ounces of protein and 100 to 200 grams of the carbs. All right guys, so that does it for the meal prep video. The only thing that I'm still waiting on is the chicken in the crock pot. That's just gonna take a couple more hours. The only step that I have from there is to put it into containers and weigh it. But you guys get the point here. Just do this, try this out. Again, it's super simple, super easy, and very, very fast. For anybody who's on a busy schedule, who maybe says that they don't have the time to meal prep, that is not a valid excuse with this method. So grab yourself a crock pot, get a rice cooker, try this out. Let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know if there was anything that you maybe learned in this video that you didn't know before, such as the teriyaki sauce, maybe the liquid aminos, or maybe just this cooking method in general. If you guys like this video, make sure that you hit that thumbs up button down below, as well as a little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified when I post a new video. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.